Hello, wonderful people, viewers and subscribers all over the world. Stay me, Asuchin Peters. I'm doing this like a follow-up to the video I published earlier regarding the threat to life by Ibiyomie on Daddy Freeze. Daddy Freeze has taken to his social media platform to respond to David Ibiyomie. I want you to listen to it attentively. I'll be right back.
Hi guys, I'm Daddy Freeze, convener of the Free the Sheeple movement and leader of the Free Nation in Christ. I greet you and I bring glad tidings. This video is in response to a viral video that David Ibiyomie did, supposedly yesterday. And here is my response. Before I go any further, I'll love to appreciate everyone for checking up on me. I thank you so much for your calls. Thank you for your concern. Thank you for your worries. And I want to assure you via this medium that even with a gun to my head, I'll still preach the truth and nothing but the truth. The truth about Christ, the truth about the scriptures, the real truth, the hidden truth about Christianity. So help me God. I was very devastated by that video because of the contents thereof. I didn't insult Bishop David Oyedepo. He quoted from the book of Ephesians chapter 5 verse 22, and I drew his attention to verse 21. Correcting scripturally is not an insult. Christ was criticized. Paul was criticized. Peter was criticized. Even the Pharisees were criticized. So there's no way you're going to preach a message from the scriptures that you will not get criticism. It's impossible. Even the closest friends of mine who agree doctrinally still disagree over some scriptures here and there, some doctrines here and there, and some ideologies. I find it very devastating that just to get to me, Pastor Ibiyomie, you will drag the whole Somalian nation.
That bastard! Tell him any day you hear him talk about it. Do they know his father? That the priest has a father. Who is his father? That half-caste who is born by Somalian.
I'm very proud to associate myself with Somalians and Somalia because they are beautiful people. Beautiful Africans like you and I. It is hate speech to undermine them with derogatory words. Is it not just a Somalian? Like there's anything wrong with being Somalian. To all my followers and fans in Somalia, I love you all and I'm proud to be associated with you, even though by birth I'm not Somalian. My mom is European and my father is Yoruba. Going beyond this, I also need to draw the attention of the public and the law enforcement to the threat of life that was issued to me in that video.
I will never be alive to see somebody insult my father. You are not born. You are not born. I'll kill you. I'll tear you to pieces. Born. I'll kill you. I'll tear you to pieces. Born. I'll kill you. I'll tear you to pieces.
Pastor Ibiyomie, I don't know if you realize that the threat to life is a criminal offense. And let it be on the record that you threatened my life. Is this how Nigeria is going to accept this? If anything happens to me, I hope you know who to hold responsible. This has been on social media space for about 24 hours now. I'm yet to hear anything from the police. What happened to our laws on hate speech, racism, discriminatory statements, threat to life, which is actually criminal? What happened to all this? Are we going to keep quiet and just let this lie because it's coming from a pastor? Pastor Ibiyomie, you went on again to undermine the noble profession of broadcasting. I'm a proud broadcaster for the last 25 years. I've dedicated my life to this beautiful, noble profession. I've taken my children along with me to the radio to familiarize themselves with the radio, hoping that one or two of them can fall in love with it. You demean it to such a great extent. Such a glorious profession that disseminates very important information, a tool used by all of us, including the church. Are we going to make broadcasters feel bad for making broadcasting their career choice because of how little money is there? Maybe broadcasters should start collecting tithe and offering too, so you at least get the feeling that someone of your caliber is talking to you. I think you should apologize to every journalist, every broadcaster, for undermining our work. Furthermore, for challenging the irregularities I perceive in religion. Does that make me less of a human being? Are you aware that the word half caste is racist?
That the priest has a father. Who is his father? That half caste who is born by Somalian. That half caste who is born by Somalian.
The world is fighting against racism. Systemic racism. Outright racism. And it brings tears to my eyes that a black man will refer to a fellow black man during the time that people are crying that Black Lives Matter as a half caste. Hate speech, let me inform you, is criminal. It's derogatory to make such a remark. And I ask that you apologize for it. You say I'm not my father's son. I put it to you to prove who my real father is. Because with that verbal construct, you have insulted the integrity of my mother, who is a professor of law, Pastor Ibiyomie. Do you honestly believe that the tenets of Christianity were upheld in that video? Do you believe that as a pastor behind a pulpit, you showed the likeness of Christ in your utterances in that video? Is what you did in synchrony and symphony with the Christian scriptures? You said you would finish me.
I'll kill you. I'll tear you to pieces. I'll kill you. I'll tear you to pieces.
From my understanding, that's another criminal offense. A threat to life is criminal. And if anything happens to me, so I'm speaking to the public, I'm speaking to the police, I'm speaking to the world at large. Should anything whatsoever happen to me, I want you to know who to hold responsible. Every day we shout for freedom of speech. How can our dreams be shattered with threats of death from the ones we expect to guide our spiritual lives? Even with a gun to my head, I will continue preaching the true word of God. I will continue debunking errors in Christian teachings with the scriptures. I have called several times for debates. You don't agree with what I'm saying? Debate. When Bishop Oyedepo said something I didn't agree with, I brought out the scriptures. He quoted from the book of Ephesians chapter 5. I quoted from the same book of Ephesians chapter 5. You have any disagreement with my stance, my teachings, my doctrines. Call for a debate, online, offline, however you want it. Bring the scriptures, let's discuss them. I've made it open. But instead of debating my stance with the scriptures, you're resorting to winding people up emotionally with death threats and derogatory statements, with racism from behind the pulpits, with hate speech against Somalians, against broadcasters, calling people of mixed race half caste. Pastor Ibiyomie.
Insulting me, I won't, but insult Oyedepo. That bastard! Tell him, any day I hear him talk about Oyedepo, do they know his father? That the priest has a father. Who is his father? That half caste who is born by Somalian. The day I hear him insult Oyedepo again, I will deal with him. Oyedepo may not talk, but I can't be alive to insult my father. If that, who gave birth to him? If he has a father, let him show us his father's picture. Somebody they gave birth to in the sheep. Does he look like a Nigerian? That's a Somalian. If I hear him insult father with my father again, Oyedepo will not talk, but I can't be alive to insult my father. I can't be alive. I caused the day I was born. Insult my own father when I'm alive. I can't take it. Oyedepo will not talk, but I can't be alive. You insult my father. I will tear you. I will tear you to pieces. I'll be alive. You insult my father. Then say, hey, I'll tear you to pieces, you bastard. People who have fathers don't insult fathers. He's insulted because he has no father. You can never insult a father if you have a father. He has no father. Tell him, oh. Tell him. This is the last day he talks about Oyedepo again. He's a bastard. He's a bastard. Does he have a father? Who's his father? Let him show his father's picture. If he has a father. A man who cannot marry. He has no wife. He can't manage his home. He's coming to talk on television. Is it not his wife who left him? Huh? A man who has a broadcaster. He doesn't have a good job. I've been insulting my own father and people are laughing. Say, talk. Anybody insult my father again, I will just, anybody may not talk, but me, I will talk. I will never be alive to see somebody insult my father. You are not born. You are not born. I will kill you. I will tear you to pieces. Very soon, I will arrest him. Next one, I will.
You heard that, right? Good. One thing about our people is that we are too religious. Our religious sentiments have beclouded our sense of reasoning, honestly speaking, and that is not good for our existence as a people. You see, whenever we bring up issues like this that has anything to do with the pastors or concerns pastors in any form, whether as a form of critiques or a form of observation, many of you don't share it. Yes. And as a result of that, many people don't get to know this truth. But we owe humanity the duty to always speak the truth. It doesn't matter who is involved. The truth of the matter is that the Bible made it clear that love your neighbor as you love yourself. So that means you don't wish others what you don't wish yourself. And something that will be done to you and you will feel hot, don't do it to another person. And that is my own message to Ibiyomie. As a man of God that he is, he should call Daddy Freeze and apologize to him. And to Daddy Freeze, I will expect you to exhibit the Christianity you profess, the forgiveness. Okay? Despite the fact, we know what happened when Ibiyomie had a problem with this Yoruba's blogger. What's that her name? Funka. I don't remember her name. You guys might know whom I'm talking about. That one that usually talk too much. So the lady was even imprisoned by Ibiyomie. And now it is now Ibiyomie threatening the life, expressly the life of Daddy Freeze, which is uncalled for. It's unethical. It is not an example of Christianity, calling somebody a bastard. You saw his parents. He made it clear. He had no connection with Somalia. He said it. His father is a Yoruba man. His mother is an European. Calling him a bastard, he doesn't have a father, and the rest of using derogatory words. I wonder where we are heading to. The church is now becoming more worldly, and the world is now becoming more churchy. I leave it to you. Use your tongue to count your teeth. Let us all, for once, shun religious sentiment and embrace true Christianity, which is the life you live, and not by going to church and be praying down heaven, fire, fire. Christianity is a life. It is a life you live, and not the number of speaking in tongues you make. I think that is all for now. Thank you for watching. You can share this video. Let every other person get to know this. I'm signing out. If you're new on this platform, you're welcome on board. This is where we see it, we say it. This is where we say the truth without looking at anybody's face. All right? So you're welcome on board. Subscribe, like, share, and drop your comments. Together, we are forming a very powerful community that will change our lives for good. This community is the greatest thing that will happen to humanity here, especially in Africa. I'm signing out. Stay safe.